What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P, back here once again. You already know what it is. It's Friday. Party, party, party. Fun. Shout out if you know, use the hashtag. But we got some things that we got to get into today. Oh, I got to give my takes because yesterday, I was off. I didn't give my takes. Some things went down, and we already know what those things are. As Skip Bayless called them, 11 from heaven. Man. 11 in our division. I don't like it. I ain't scared, but I don't like it. But we're going to get into all that and a little bit more. We got some craziness coming out of Chicago. Man, I just want to know, what do I got to do to get on ESPN Detroit? Because they put anybody on the airways on ESPN. Just about anybody, and you will hear all of that and more as we break it down on this party, fun, Friday. But before we get started, we have to understand that you see me in front of your TV. And when you see me in front of your TV, one thing is for certain and three things are for sure. Number one, the Motor City Cats are indeed back at it. Number two, we came to give you stats, none of that static. Number three, perhaps the most important number of them all. We want to make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And you may be saying, how, Don, does one keep their Lions news pragmatic? Well, it's a simple process. I'm glad you asked. 3 steps. Smash like buttons, subscribe, share. And when you share with your uncles, your cousins, your aunties, your grands, your steps, your halves, your colleagues, your friends, your family, your bosses, your subordinates, you have indeed cared about those people because sharing is indeed caring. What up, though? Detroit Lions fans, we are here, and it is a day. One more day until the next day that we have not signed Zidarius Smith. I don't know what's going on, okay? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. But we're going to break it down because I know everybody wants to get into what happened yesterday. Well, Dave Burkett is not a fan of Brad Holmes. Dave Burkett writes an article that says Packers do what Lions won't by trading for Micah Parsons. They go all in for a Super Bowl. What up, though, Just a Fan? What up, though, Tactical Sport? I, to some extent, agree. Listen, the Detroit Lions are never one of those teams, it seems, to make blockbuster trades. It seems that the Detroit Lions are never that team to sign the big free agent. It seems like the Detroit Lions are never that team, especially in NFC North. When a Khalil Mack comes this way, when a Montez Sweat comes this way, when a Micah Parsons comes this way, when a Randy Moss comes this way via draft, you could have drafted him, right? It just seems like the Detroit Lions are always left holding the bag, and the bag is empty. But I don't agree in this case. I understand what it looks like optically, right? But what I don't agree with is, the Detroit Lions didn't trade for Micah Parsons, and now that's the problem. Well, we weren't trading for Micah Parsons. We didn't have the ability to trade. Well, we had the ability to trade for Micah Parsons, okay? And for those of you that are, two first-round picks was too much. Jerry Jones sat up there at the podium when they was talking about the trade, and he's like, and I'm going to do you one better. Those draft picks could get us Pro Bowl. Not only did we get a player, those draft picks could get us Pro Bowl level players. Well, Jerry, you just shipped a Pro Bowl level player out of the door. Micah Parsons has never had less than 11 sacks in his career. Last year, he missed 4 games and still had 13 sacks. Okay, are you understanding the type of player that you just let walk out of the door for basically nothing? Okay, you got 2 first round picks, which are going to be low. Okay, they're not going to be high first round picks. Okay. Justin Fan says Dave Burkett did that because BH slammed Dave down during his last press conference. Well, I mean, it's beef. What's beef? You know what I mean? So anyway, I don't know if they're deep, K, but we'll talk about it. So Micah Parsons, again, when people talk to 2 first round picks, the Packers overpaid. I mean, okay, let's go ahead and give the Packers credit. Okay, this is what a lot of people struggle to do. People in your division are good. People in your division get better. And that's why it's hard to win the division. Detroit Lions fans talk as though we have a rich history of division winning because we've gone back to back. We don't have a rich history of division winning. We've gone back to back. You know what our first one was? Our first one ever. Our first of the back-to-back was the first one ever. In the 30-plus years that the NFC North existed, the Detroit Lions had never, ever won it. The last time the Detroit Lions won the division, it was called the NFC Central. It wasn't called the NFC North. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were in our division. You know where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are? The NFC South. So let's pump the brakes on the Detroit Lions being the most absolute juggernaut, having the most absolute, the history of the team is flawless. We have 15 Super Bowls, right? We have the most Super Bowls of any franchise in the NFL. Stop it. Look, man, I understand fan is short for fanatic. But we have to understand that it is the job of all 31 other teams in the NFL to get better. Because all 31 NFL teams are chasing a Super Bowl. Or I should say all 32 are chasing. Right? So there's 31 others that are chasing a Super Bowl, and they're making moves, going all in. Okay? The Green Bay Packers gave up 2 first-round picks for Micah Parsons and a declining Kenny Clark. Right? If you look at Kenny Clark's PFF grades and all these things, he's declining. The Dallas Cowboys felt like, he's the answer to their weakness and softness in the middle. That's fine. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But the 2 first-round picks, brother, you draft people in the first round hoping that they will be Micah Parsons. Anytime you give up multiple picks, you didn't give up multiple picks. Okay? Let's break it down this way. The Green Bay Packers just drafted Micah Parsons. That's their first round pick this year, this draft. They just drafted Micah Parsons, not Michael. we knew that Michael could get us lots of assets coming back in a trade. We knew that Michael could get that for us. Shout out Jerry Jones. The Green Bay Packers just drafted Micah Parsons. They don't have a draft pick next year. This year's draft pick is Micah Parsons. Okay, anytime you trade multiple picks, you trade 2 first-round picks, you're not trading 2 first-round picks. You're trading 1 because you used one of them to draft Micah Parsons. And when you're sitting up here this year in this year's draft and you're like, they don't have a first-round draft pick. Yes, they do. His name is Micah Parsons. And he probably finished the season with double-digit sacks. He's now the odds-on favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year. That's who you just drafted. Okay, next year you don't have a draft pick from the first round. Okay, so what? This year you drafted Micah Parsons. Okay, so just look at it that way. When people are always like, "Oh, 2 first rounders is too much," how? It's really 1 first rounder because you're drafting a guy. You're drafting a guy, okay, who's a Hall of Famer. He hasn't even finished his rookie contract, bro, and will be a Hall of Famer. Micah Parsons is good. Micah Parsons is an excellent football player. He's an excellent pass rusher. Right? He's not a world beater stopping the run. And then that's what you got to figure. We'll run the ball straight at him. Cool. Okay. But Micah Parsons makes the Green Bay Packers defense a better defense. We have Penei Sewell. Yes, Penei Sewell is the Micah Parsons stopper, but that's going to be a battle. But it's only going to be a battle when Jeff Hafley decides, let's put Micah Parsons over the top of Penei Sewell. Because there's nothing fair, right? In defense, as a defensive coordinator, you don't have to be fair. You're not like, oh, let's take our best player and put him on their best player and let the best man win. Mano a mano. Clanging and banging. Steel on steel. Iron sharpens iron. No, as a defensive coordinator, you are trying to get a mismatch. You are trying to get your best player on their worst player. And that's how you affect the football game. Not by going, well, Micah Parsons must play on the side of Penei Sewell. He must line up over the top of Penei Sewell every single time. It's just got to be, because fair is fair, guys. Fair is fair. It wouldn't be fair to line Micah Parsons up over Taylor Decker. It's not fair. That's not fair to the Detroit Lions. And all we want to do is be fair. Okay? Micah Parsons has no sacks against Penei Sewell. He has 2 sacks against Taylor Decker. Where do you think he's going? Okay. So, yes, the Green Bay Packers did get better. No, they didn't give up too much for Micah Parsons. All right, let's get some of these chats in before I continue on my soliloquy, because I got more stuff to say. All right. All right, let's go to Tactical Sport. He says, well, nobody accused Jerry Jones of being the smartest guy. No, Jerry Jones has dementia. It's clear. Michael. I like Micah. Michael. How is he both Micah and Michael? Lions have lots to prove this year. Will the O-line gel quickly and be good? Will the D-line be good? Will our DBs be great? It is not a slam dunk. Facts, just a fan. Zach J says, I would have made that trade if it wasn't for the contract. Facts. Cole Trickle says, Brad won't do anything. Well, he's kind of proven you right at this point. What up, though, Keith Jackson? What up, though, Taylor Made Media? He says, Micah Parsons is already in, checks notes, the Hall of Fame. No, he's not already in it, but if he continues, if he's got 4 seasons under his belt, right? 4? Okay. If he has 4 more double-digit sack seasons right out the gate, like 8 double-digit sack seasons, he's going to the Hall of Fame. And there's nothing right now other than injury that it makes it look like he's not going to be able to do it. Okay? Motor City Don P, Motor City Don P says, Mr. Detroit City says, Dallas replaced Micah Parsons with none other than James Houston, RIP Cowboys. Hey, man. Hey, he had 8 sacks. So he's comparable, right? That's what they say. That Jerry Jones voice had me, Keith Jackson. Cole Trickle says they gave up way too much just with the contract. It's, again, their contract situation is whatever their contract situation is. This is called an all-in move, when you push your chips to the table. If they don't win it this year, if they don't win it, whenever. And again, his contract doesn't kick in this year. He's still on his rookie contract. Okay? His contract doesn't kick in this year. Chicago Bears collapse loading. Caleb is going to be running for his life between Hutch and Micah every other week. Facts. Breaking news, Jerry Jones diagnosed with dementia, thus voiding the trade. LOL. I wish. Oh, I wish. That would be fantastic. Micah, $47 million a year. Jordan Love, $55 million a year. That's around 40-ish% of the salary cap right there. That's crazy. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Cole. Remember, I don't know if you've ever seen any of my salary cap episodes. The salary cap is essentially not real because the salary cap can be finagled. It can be played with. It can be manipulated. Look at Kirby Joseph's contract. Kirby Joseph has basically like no base salaries. Everything that he has is like an option bonus or some sort of bonus. So what that does is, yes, they're going to pay him the money, but what that does is it keeps your cap down. So if he's making $21 million per year, so to speak, on average, but his cap hits are $10 million per year, you're saving a whole lot of money. The second thing is that we can say that it's about the owners being cash rich. Cash rich. Cash doll. We'll get to that. It's about the owners being cash rich. Okay? The Green Bay Packers don't have owners, bro, so we don't even know where they freaking get their money from. Okay? They could be, in with the triads, the Yakuza, right? The Italian mafia. Like, they could be in, like, who knows where their money comes from. Okay? Jeff Bezos could be a Packers fan and own stock in the Packers and be given the money. Who knows? So their contract situation is going to be different than ours. Okay? So you're conceding that Brad isn't going to sign Big Z. Tactical, I'm not going to concede until he's on another team. But it ain't looking great. From his comments yesterday, again, it's like whatever side of the bed he wakes up on is what he when you ask him about Big Z. When he was on 97 won the ticket, oh, obviously there's mutual interest. Obviously you want to bring him back. Oh, gush. Oh, we've been in contact with him. Oh, gush. Then yesterday they asked him at the press conference, well, have you had any contact recently with Big Z? Not recently, no. You just hot and cold on Big Z, bro. Stop it. Anyway, Cole Trickle says, no, if Brad wanted Z back, he would be signed by now. TaylorMade Media says, all in facts. Mr. Detroit City says, how sad is Aaron Rodgers' first Green Bay drafts a first-round wide receiver? Now they bring in Micah LMAO. Karen. He deserves to be sad. Man, that's going to hurt us paying Hutch. Yeah. So they're going to have to do Hutch's deal a similar way. I think everybody that they're trying to re-sign, whether it be Brian Branch, J-Mo, Hutch, everybody, Laporta, it's going to have to be a Kirby Joseph type of contract. Okay, that's the only way. And they're going to have to restructure Amon-Ra. They're going to have to restructure Jared Goff. They're going to have to restructure Panay. They're going to have to do a lot of stuff to move a lot of money around. Okay? And it can be done. But what happens is, does Sheila have the money? Okay? Remember, Sheila's not William Clay Ford. Okay? And what does that mean? Yes, she's a better owner. William Clay Ford had the money because William Clay Ford owned the Ford Motor Company. Okay? Sheila has brothers and sisters, or brother and sister. Okay? So they split the money. So the money from Ford is not all her money. This is where we run into an issue with our cap situation or our cash situation, not our cap situation. Again, the cap is not real. Okay? If you tell me I can take $1 and I can call it a peso, then that's not a serious thing. And if y'all get that on the fly, you'll get it on the fly. All right. Hutch is getting paid more than Parsons. Yeah, we know. What's the cap now? 227 million. I think it's higher than that. I have to check. I think it's closer to 300 million. Hutch is having a Lawrence Taylor type season this year. Well, if he has a Lawrence Taylor type season this year and we win the Super Bowl, then no one cares. Okay? Cap held for the next 5 years, I don't care because I won a Super Bowl and I saw it. And there's a lot of people that didn't see it because they died. They're no longer here. Okay, so if he goes off and we win the Super Bowl, then all of this is a moot point. None of it mattered. Brad Holmes is a genius because he never got anybody other than Marcus Davenport on the side of Hutch, and Marcus Davenport he dipped himself in the Lazarus pool and somehow remained healthy for the entire season. You know what I mean? Like, none of it matters at that point. I don't care about our cap situation. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I want to be consistently good for 10 years. That would be nice. But if you're consistently good for 10 years and you never win a Super Bowl, who cares about those 10 years? Who cares that the four falls of Buffalo, right? Who cares that they went 4 years in a row and lost every single one of them? Still don't have a Super Bowl. The Buffalo Bills trophy case looks the same as the Detroit Lions trophy case. And they went 4 years in a row. So that's not something I care about. Just Fan says, Brad Holmes does not like to be dictated to by any media or fans. He has Jerry Jones' brain sometimes. Without the dementia. Yeah, I feel you. D Nice, what do you think is the answer for us to win against the Packers since they have Parsons now? The same thing that we did when we won against the Cowboys. Run the football. That's my answer. Sheila's got that. We need to sell food plates so they can pay the guys. Hey, do something. Lions fans, do something. Come up with some sort of charity drive and and donate all the money to Hutch's contract. I think Sheila will spend the money. She's seeing what her dad did, not laying the money. I know she will spend the money. That's not what I'm saying. Does she have enough of it? That's all I'm saying. Because we're not cash rich. That's all I'm saying. She will spend it, but do we have enough of it? Zach J says it's like $279 million. Yeah, it's $279.2 million. What up, though, Mr. Morale 313? All right, so the Micah situation and with people freaking out, are the Lions still a better football team? Do we still have a better roster than the Green Bay Packers? Yes, we do. Is it going to be a tougher road with Micah Parsons in the NFC North? Yes, it will. Does Micah Parsons make the Green Bay Packers a favorite to win the NFC North? No. It gives them better odds, but it doesn't. Remember, this team added Matthew Golden and Micah Parsons. Remember, this team was 1-5 in the division last season, beating only the woeful Chicago Bears because they couldn't get their clock management and they couldn't get, you know what I'm saying, their last minute game, their 2-minute game right. The Chicago Bears didn't beat anybody in the division except for the Green Bay Packers once, and they could have beat them twice. This is the team that people are freaking out about. The Green Bay Packers still suck. Jordan Love is still their quarterback. They still have a bunch of number 3s and 4s at wide receiver. They got Josh Jacobs, yes. Okay? We put it on them twice last season. We swept the entire division last season. Okay? But I want to play a snippet for you. Okay? Get ready, because this is why Y'all need to we need to start a petition. We need to get this channel huge. Okay? Y'all need to share, subscribe, send it to everybody that you know. And everybody needs to subscribe. I need to get 15,000 subscribers by the end of this show. Wow. Because I want to be on ESPN Detroit. Because when you're on ESPN, you don't have to know what the hell you're talking about. Take a listen to this.
The AFC North instead of the NFC South. I don't think the schedule will create a division that has Titans at the top of it. Right. I don't think it's going to take as much to win it. And I think that the Bears have a chance to be involved at the end because, look, frankly, I'm not high on what the Lions are offering with what they lost. And it's not just losing the coordinators, which I don't think you can write off. It's also personnel-wise. They've lost Levi Onwuzurike, one of their best defensive linemen for the season.
When the hell was Levi Onwuzurike part of the success of the Detroit Lions? Are we serious? Are we serious? This was from ESPN Chicago. These clowns have a radio show on ESPN Chicago. Why am I not on ESPN Detroit? This is a travesty of justice. Someone send in video, someone make some calls, someone do something because your boy Motor City Don P needs to be on ESPN Detroit. If this man can sit up here on ESPN Chicago and say, we lost Levi Onwuzurike, one of our best defensive players for the season, and that is why we will not win the division. Brother, Levi Onwuzurike has been on this team for 4 years and played one season. And he's trying to sound smart. He's trying to sound prepared. He's trying to sound like he did some research. This is crazy. This is crazy. He said we lost Levi Onwuzurike. I didn't listen to the rest. I stopped there and I tweeted it to myself so that I could save it so that I could play it for you guys today. We talk about Mr. 3.5 sacks, Tactical Sport. You are correct. We talk about Mr. 3.5 sacks, not 3.5, 3.5. 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. Okay? Who is the best defensive lineman on the Detroit Lions? Is it 0.5, 0.5, 0.5? Because I get half sacks. Shout out if you know, you know. Okay. Oh my God. Let me get some. We got a lot of Micah Parsons coming in. We're gonna get to all your comments. Cole Trickle says, I get what you're saying. What I was saying is not going to she is not going to Jerry Jones, the Lions, because of money. She will at least try. I feel you. Facts. Sergio Sweeney, what up, though? Said, I hope we don't spend it all on Hutch. We had our best record without him, but he is a good player. You got to spend it. That's just the way the NFL rolls. Hutch is next up. Micah got $47 million per year. Hutch got to get at least 47.5, 47.1. Right? They did that with Kirby Joseph. Antoine Winfield, I think, got 21 million. Kirby Joseph got like 21.25 or 1.5 or something like that. It was very minuscule, 100,000 or 200,000 more. Mr. Brown 313 says, anyone know anything about the Andre Carter, the second kid? I hear he's decent with a lot of upside. So I don't want to hear nothing about no upside. Okay? I don't want to hear nothing about no upside. I want to hear something about Big Z. Okay? Because we already know what Big Z is. Okay? So here's the thing. And I know a lot of y'all listen to Lion Syndicate. Shout out my man, Derek, Lion Syndicate. And he was crashing out about it. And I have the same sentiment. I'm coming to the same conclusion as he was. It's not about Micah Parsons. We weren't getting Micah Parsons. No one expected us to get Micah Parsons. Now, you could have done it for 1 year. And if you gave up the same package, if you gave up 2 first-round picks and a Lee McNeil or something like this, yeah, that would have been an all-in move. But you gotta win the Super Bowl because now you're setting yourself back. Now the two first-round picks is a little bit steep because you don't have the ability to lock up Micah Parsons. Is it Micah or Michael? Michael. You don't have the ability to lock him up. If you had the ability to lock up Micah with our cap situation and our cash situation, then I'd be crashing out because the Cowboys got Micah and we didn't. I'm not the Cowboys, the Packers. Okay? So it's not about Micah Parsons. It's about, okay, the Packers kept everybody except for Kenny Clark. And then they added Micah Parsons. So they've already got Rashawn Gary, Quay Walker, Edgerrin Cooper. I mean, Quay Walker is a net negative because he's going to give us a 15-yarder at the worst time. I've always said this about Quay Walker. Quay Walker is a closeted Lions fan. Okay, I don't know. I think he grew up in Georgia, but he must have had a soft spot for the Lions all his life. Somebody must have showed him some Barry Sanders highlights when he was a kid, and he just said, "Okay, that's my team." Because he always do something stupid to get a 15-yard penalty and extend the drive that we need to win the game or something. Okay, so that's Quay Walker, but they kept everybody. All they gave up was Kenny Clark. Okay, their defense got better. Did it get worse in the run game? Maybe a tick. Maybe a tick. Okay, but their offense didn't get any better. Their special teams didn't get any better. Their secondary didn't get any better. And if you can neutralize Micah for just a second or two, okay, then you can carve them boys up. Now, how many deep shots are we going to take with Jameson Williams and Jared Goff? And I don't know. Okay, but if you give Micah the same treatment that they give Hutch, the chipping and all this other stuff, helping out Taylor Decker over there, and you're going to have to game plan for him, okay, twice a year now. Okay, it's fine. We'll be okay. The crash out comes where they got Micah Parsons and we got Andre Carter II. They got Micah Parsons and we got Tyrus the Virus Wheat. They got Micah Parsons and we got, what's his name? Tyler Lacey. Who are these people? Who are these people? And they got Micah Parsons and we didn't get Big Z. We didn't go out and get a guy that wants to freaking be here, bro. What are we doing? If we can't sign Big Z for 10, 11, 12 million for 1 year, we can't find 10, 11, 12 million. And we got 40 million in cap space already, and I know you're going to roll it over, or you're going to sign Hutch this season. Okay? If you get Hutch's deal done, it's August. For me, it's August 30th. Okay? So it's August 29th for y'all. If you get Hutch's deal done in the next few days, come back after Labor Day, which I will be live Monday because I don't have Labor Day. I'm in Australia. Okay. So I'll be live on LNU. So if y'all want to come hang out with your boy and talk Lions, we'll go ahead and do that. Okay? If you get his deal done on Labor Day, because it's labor, okay? It's a holiday about labor. Or is it Memorial Day? Is it Labor Day or is it Memorial Day, right? My bad. I think it's Memorial Day. So you get the deal done. You could sign Big Z because you know what you're going to have. And I hope that's the path that you're taking. I would hope that's what Brad Holmes is doing, but it doesn't seem that way. Okay? In Brad Holmes' mind, in some, I think he understands the situation, but I think he still has this nagging thing in the back of his mind that makes him believe that the Detroit Lions fans are upset because we don't have two Aiden Hutchinsons. Let me tell you, where's my camera? Brad Holmes, I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. We don't care. We don't care about two Aiden Hutchinsons. We don't care about Aiden Hutchinson and Micah Parsons. We don't care about Aiden Hutchinson and Myles Garrett. We don't care about Aiden Hutchinson and TJ Watt. We don't care about Aiden Hutchinson and Max Crosby. We don't care about these people as much as you think that we care about these people. We just talk to you about these people because these people seem to be available at some point in time. But if you went out and you signed Big Z, which is what we've been clamoring for ages, didn't know why you cut him, you go sign that guy, everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. Okay? Except for the Lions trolls that are calling him Zidarius and he's just a guy and all these other things. That's fine. Let them do what they do. Trolls troll. Okay? We are not here for that. We're not here for, it's got to be two elite pass rushers. It's got to be. No, it doesn't. We've got an elite pass rusher in Aiden Hutchinson. Thank you very much. We've got a guy in Marcus Davenport who's phenomenal. He's an excellent football player. He doesn't play football. That's the problem. He's an excellent football player that doesn't play enough football because he's always injured. So if you sign a guy opposite Hutch to combat the fact that that guy's injured all the time, then we're happy. But Andre Carter II and Tyrus the Virus Wheat, it's not cutting it. It's not cutting it. All right, let me get to some of y'all comments because I know I'm backlogged. I know y'all saying a lot. All right. Lion King says Brad Holmes and the Lions rolling the dice on Davenport to stay healthy. If so, we Super Bowl bound. Marcus is ferocious. Go watch the Lions versus the Rams 2024. Exactly. And that's what I just kept. That's just what I just said, right? I just said it. However, rolling the dice on his health, what happens when you crap out? That's all I'm saying. What happens when you crap out? All right. Wait, if we pay Hutch, we won't have the money to pay the greatest player of all time, J-Mo. I don't know what we will have money to pay, but you should hope that they have money to pay because we might not have money to pay Gibbs. We might, you know what I'm saying? We might lose a lot of people. Yeah, Micah isn't dropping back and throwing the football. Sure, it will be a little tougher, but I'm not that worried. Watch Green Bay sign Christian Wilkins to replace Kenny Clark. Oh, yeah. We talk about Mr. 3.5 sacks, right? I don't want any of those sports talk shows anymore. I don't watch. I think it's watch. Yeah, watch. Ron Winarski says, I hope Lions put Parsons in the dirt week 1. Me too. What up, though? Brent Lighton says, I'm sitting in the van down by the river smoking a bag of something called Honolulu Blue Balls. I hear if I smoke enough, we are guaranteed the Super Bowl. Well, don't harm yourself. Was Quay Walker the one who pushed our medical professional? Yes, Zach J. He is that guy. Brent Lighton, our defense is going to neutralize Love. Keith Jackson says, good thing for us and the rest of the division. It will get them in the long run because they will lose other players. I love the Lions when they don't play my Bears, says Ron Winarski. They got Micah and we got Davenport. Exactly. We spent that $40 million next year already. Brent Lighton, yeah, we did. They're going to have to do a lot of cap machinations to get something going in our way. Because right now we are like negative $21 million going into next season for cap space. But we already know it's not going to fly. If the Packers, them paying $47 million a year hurts us almost as much as Micah's play. You are correct because of that Hutch contract. Mr. Morale 313 says, so I have an honest question. Why do we as fans feel like we need to make a counter move for the Parsons trade? So I don't feel like we need to make a counter move for the Parsons trade. I felt like we needed to make a move for Big Z before the Parsons trade happened. It looks worse when you have these guys who you're signing. It feels worse. But the timing is just the timing. Y'all, you know, I've been on the, okay, let me say, make sure this is not a pausable moment. I've been wanting them to re-sign Big Z. I didn't understand why they cut him. Okay, so this was when the offseason started, when they cut him. I wanted Big Z back because of Marcus Davenport. Okay, Marcus Davenport is the reason why anyone who, unless you just have FOMO, unless you have fear of missing out, Marcus Davenport is the only reason why you were upset today, why you were upset yesterday. Because Marcus Davenport, while phenomenal, cannot stay healthy. And until he proves me wrong that he can stay healthy, because he's never played 17 games, he's never played 16 games, 15 games is all he's ever played. That's the highest amount that he's ever played. He's done it once. He's played a 13-game season. He's played an 11-game season. He played a 2-game season last year. He's had a season where he didn't play any games. So he's the reason why people are feeling some type of way. That's it. If it was someone else, if it was Marcus Davenport but healthy, we wouldn't give a damn. They'd be like, okay, they got Micah Parsons. That's cute. Right? So it's been all offseason clamoring for them to make a move opposite Hutch, not just this trade. Now, this trade makes things feel and seem and look worse because you're like, oh, we got Micah Parsons. What are they doing? Or they got Micah Parsons. What are we doing? Right? That's why it feels that way. But if you just sign Big Z, they ain't got no problem with it. They got Micah. They got Micah and Michael. We got Marcus Davenport and Big Z. It is what it is. You know, strap up. Stand up there on the line, boy, and we'll see what's what. Tactical Sport says they really need to get to restructuring Goff's contract. That $60 million next season is hurting us. Yeah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We're not going in there next year with that $60 million. Lions versus Rams 2024. We don't need Z. Davenport is better versus pass and run. Z lacks the running game. We need Z because we can't count on Davenport's health. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If we could count on Davenport's health, then who cares? We don't need Big Z. Now, Brad Holmes is going to look like a genius if Davenport can play the entire season. Brad Holmes is going to look like a fool if Marcus Davenport does what Marcus Davenport does. Right? They tell you can't turn something into a housewife. What does that mean? Okay? You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. What does that mean? Her job was something else before. And now you're trying to change her character, her nature. That's why they say that. Not because, a person can't be different or whatever. It's the whole you can't teach an old dog new tricks thing. Right? When someone shows you who they are, believe them. The talk out of camp and out of Allen Park, oh, he's working on his durability. Why this year? Why now? Why is it that just now that he's doing this? Why didn't he do it last year? Why didn't he do it earlier in his career? What's the reason that it's just now? Is it because his contract is worth doo-doo butter and a bunch of incentives? Is that why he's doing it now? I don't know. You tell me. Chocolate? This doo-doo, baby. Yeah. I don't think we need to make a counter to Micah. Just need to sign Big Z for the same reason we needed Big Z before Micah. Facts. Ben is gonna wreck the Lions. Okay, Ron. All right. Davenport is the X factor. See, Lion King, no one is saying that Davenport is no good. I'm not saying that. No one is saying that. Davenport is a phenomenal football player for 1/8 of a season. Right? If you average the amount of games that he's played over the amount of games that he was supposed to play, I think then you'll understand the point. Okay? He doesn't play seasons. He doesn't. I can agree with that. Tactical sport. Puff, puff, pass. Fans have clamored for another edge for 3 seasons, but Brad Holmes is as pig-headed as Aaron Glenn. Nobody is going to instruct him in anything. See? That's what I'm saying. It ain't just the Micah trade. Motown Mitch, what up, though? Says, calm down, Master Pimp. It's okay, bro. With or without Z, we still winning this ish. Okay? All right. I want to be wrong about Marcus Davenport. I really do. I really want him to. I want to be wrong. I want him to be healthy. I want him to play the entire season, plus the playoffs, plus the Super Bowl. And I want him to be. I want him to have his Aaron Donald moment. I want him to have a game-winning sack in the Super Bowl, and then get up and be like, "Give me my ring! Give me my ring, snitch! Yeah!" I want that to happen. Okay, I really do. Okay, but we talked about hoping in one hand, wishing in the other, and see which one fills up faster. Okay, and then I said hoping in one hand and pissing in the other, and the piss is gonna fill up faster, and that's what you're gonna have if Marcus Davenport gets injured like he usually does. Piss in one hand. That's what will remain. Nothing further. Just piss in one hand. Because y'all gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be pissed. And then we're going to have Andre Carter Jr. to throw in there. Or Josh Pascal. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Brad Holmes, I did it because I did it. Deal with it. That's his middle name, huh? Mr. Morale 313 says, I hope the Lions do get Big Z, though, just for security in case or when Davenport goes down. See, that's it. That's all we want. Detroit Fan Man says, that's wild. Just left my boy telling me we shouldn't pay Z using the same line. Can't turn a hoe into a housewife because Z apparently can't set an edge or stop the run. He would be bad op Hutch. Bad money. No, so Big Z in a rotation with Marcus Davenport is what you're looking for. You're looking to keep him fresh, and you're looking for him to fill in passing downs. Okay? There's packages where you could deploy Z, Hutch, and Davenport. Right? With Z applying pressure from the inside, you become a lot more flexible. Okay? At the end of the day, the Detroit Lions are good at stopping the run. Our concept, our philosophies on defense is about stopping the run. Fine. This game is a vertical game. When you stop the run so well, like the Detroit Lions do, then you put yourself in a position where you need a pass rush. Because when you can make other teams abandon the run like the Detroit Lions can, then they're going to revert to putting it up in the air all the time. And then when you can't sack the quarterback and they're putting it up in the air all the time, they go, huh. So this is how you do it. Okay? Marcus Davenport can do both. He can set the edge, he's good against the run, and he can rush the passer. Marcus Davenport is indeed the perfect complement to Aiden Hutchinson. Perfect. Wouldn't have it any other way. But Marcus Davenport cannot stay on the field. And the best ability is availability. That's it. That is the whole reason behind the argument for Big Z coming in. He provides you something. He's not a beast against the run, but again, it's the same Micah Parsons situation. Big Z got you 9 sacks last year over like playing with 2 teams. I can pretty much guarantee you that had Big Z come in here and play with Hutch, if he was just the replacement for Marcus Davenport and he came in here and he played with Hutch, he probably would have got at least 1 more sack. He probably would have got double-digit sacks. Okay? Big Z and Micah Parsons are not similar, right? They're not comparable. The only thing that they're comparable for, okay, is neither one of them is great against the run, and they're both double-digit sack guys. See what I'm saying? That's it. That's it. But nobody in Green Bay right now is talking about how Micah Parsons can't stop the run. And they shouldn't have made the trade because Micah Parsons can't stop the run. Nobody's saying that. All right. Motown says, exactly. If someone shows you who they are, believe them. And Brad Holmes has showed us he can put together a winner. Believe him. We know he can put together a winner. Because can he put together a Super Bowl winner? We know what happened last year when we were 15-2 and everybody on the defense died. We know what happened last year when everyone counted on Marcus Davenport to do anything. And he was out by week 3. Didn't even play in week 2. Played in week 1, got injured at the end of the game, missed week 2, came back week 3, played a quarter and got injured for the rest of the season. Whether you believe that he got injured intentionally or it was a good football play, whatever you want to believe about that situation, it is the reality. He got injured for the rest of the season. And had that not been the game, y'all would be lying if you're going to sit up here and say, if he didn't get injured in week 3, it was just, when was it going to be? There's a countdown to injury for Marcus Davenport, unfortunately, because that's what he does every year. He doesn't finish seasons healthy. He loses games to injury every single year. And if he plays in the last game of the season, guess what? He's coming back from injury. Because he's missed games previously if he was able to play in the last game of the season. This is what Marcus Davenport does. This is who he is. He's injury prone. JD says time to cash in. Detroit Fan Man says, who is Andre Carter? He's a guy that played at a Navy or Army and had sacks, but I think has a half sack in the NFL, and he's on our practice squad. Mr. Morale 313 says, I keep saying this. The Holmes Depot. More saving, less doing. Facts. JD says, my ex is a Packers fan. Ooh. I told her at the gym to get ready to lose again. Oof. I don't know how you did it. she must have that yacht or something, because couldn't be me. Couldn't lay down. You know, when you lay down with dogs, you're going to get fleas. I can't lay down with no Packers fans, no Bears fans, no Vikings fans. Motown Mitch says, I'm telling you, Brad will do what needs to be done. If it's Z or not, it's going to work out. Okay, Mitch. I'm going to hold you to it. I'm going to hold you to it. Okay, now, guess what happens? Here's a little scenario. Marcus Davenport gets injured week 4. Zidarius hasn't signed with anybody. Brad Holmes picks up the phone and he goes, Zidarius, we need you. He gives his Barack on. Now, Zidarius, you know, it was just business. And we didn't want to cut you, but we had to. And now that Marcus Davenport has gone down again, we going to need your services. Zidarius, we think it's time for you to come back and be a Detroit Lion. What do you think? Zidarius is going to be like, 15 million. And hang up the phone. Okay? All right. It's going to be like 15 million and he's going to hang up the phone. Because why not? Because now Marcus Davenport has inevitably gotten hurt again. And now you need my help. Once again. And you could have had my help for 11 million, but you cut me. So now I need 15. The price of the brick done went up. The price of the brick just went up. Okay? So you saying about Davenport. Lion King. Davenport is great. He's a great player. He's also perpetually injured. He's always injured. Okay? He's always injured. Okay? All right. Mailbag. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they reading you? Mailbag. Mailbag. Get your mailbag questions in. Get them in. Bask in it. All right. Get those mailbag questions in. Let your boy know what it is. All right. EPM D-Tune. So what you say? You gotta learn the words. We ain't gonna learn them. You already know what it is. We've had ample time to learn them. We ain't gonna learn them, Mike. Mailbag. Will Brad Holmes sign Z? I don't want to give up hope. As I said in the beginning, I don't want to give up hope. I don't want to believe that Big Z is not signing in Detroit until he's not signed in Detroit. You know, the whole not seeing eye to eye, Cash Doll and Big Z, and that's why they broke up. What if she said that as a condition for them to get back together? What if they weren't seeing eye to eye on him not signing with the Detroit Lions? What if that was it? We can only hope. One can only hope. TaylorMade says, Mailbag, it's possible that the Packers traded for Micah Parsons to get to Jared Goff twice a year. There are 3 new starters on the O-line. How many NFL games has Kyle Allen started? 19, maybe? Something like that. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a sack party at Jared Goff with Micah Parsons in there. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. There's a lot of running the football. We're going to try to keep it low-score games, try to play time of possession and all that stuff. Because that's just what you're going to have to do. You can't have a high-flying offense. I mean, we'll see what happens week one. Micah Parsons has done no training camp, no training, no practicing. So he was getting a second opinion on his back, but I'm pretty sure his back's going to feel a whole hell of a lot better week one while he's in the starting lineup for the Green Bay Packers. You didn't stump me. I just don't want to say that he's not going to sign Big Z. I don't want to say that, but it just, it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good. Mailbag Tactical Sport says, so 1 week until the Green Bay game, what was your confidence in a win pre-Micah, and what is it post-Micah? I mean, my confidence in a win pre-Micah was sky high. Sky high. My confidence in a win post-Micah is higher than my fear of a loss, if I can put it that way, right? I still have confidence that we can beat the Packers. I don't believe that Jordan Love is good. I don't believe that the Packers offense is going to be great. Our pass rush is going to be better week one, and it may just be week one. It may not even be the whole game week one. I don't know. It depends on Marcus Davenport. With our defense and all the reports coming out, if those things are true, then I have a high level of confidence that we can beat the Green Bay Packers. I just don't think that we're going to hang 30 on them like I thought before. That makes sense? Mailbag. Some suggest my man Brad Holmes may be on the hot seat and he's arrogant, egotistical, and cocky. If that's the case, how can he turn that perception around if Zidarius Smith goes elsewhere? The way to turn the perception around is to just stop thinking that. And so I'm not going to use smartest guy in the room because that was Bob Quinn, and Bob Quinn was an idiot. Didn't know anything, which is why he's not on anybody's team anymore anywhere. I heard something about him being an advisor to some team, and I'm like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Y'all need some advisors. Y'all need guidance. I think the way to turn the perception around would just be to understand that you can't count on injured players. This is to me Brad Holmes' biggest flaw. He gambles on injured players. He drafts phenomenally. Obviously, you can't hit 100% of the time, but the gambling on injured players, the Holmes Depot situation. Shout out, Mr. Morale 313. I'm gonna keep the name alive for you, okay? And I'm gonna give you your credit every time. Holmes Depot by Mr. Morale 313. The bargain bin Brad situation. When it hits, it's fantastic. When does it hit? What is the hit rate? Marcus Davenport, okay, now you're giving him his third chance. Emmanuel Mosley, you gave him 2 chances, okay? He didn't pan out at all. He played 3 snaps for you. Now it looks like Ennis Rakestraw might be in that vein. When does it actually ever pan out? So if he stops doing that, then he can buck that perception. See, Mailbag, will the sky fall if the Lions lose to the Packers on the 7th? The sky will fall in Lions land, in Lions Nation. We will not be united. Um, it's one game. You hate to lose to the Packers. They traded for Micah Parsons. You went into Lambeau week 1. You lost. It was, hostile environment, blah, 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 blah. There's so many reasons why you could lose. You're actually supposed to lose when you go into someone else's house and they have Micah Parsons. So that's the reality of the situation. Yes, there will be lots and lots of overreactions. The Lions aren't making the playoffs. The Lions are going to go 0-16. There's going to be lots of overreactions if the Detroit Lions lose to the Packers week 1. But I will not be overreacting. I will try to keep it even keel unless Micah Parsons gets 5 sacks and Hutch and Davenport combine for 1. Then I'll be upset. I'll be crashing out. Lion King says, don't sweat the technique. Marcus Davenport. See, when you got to go into your bag of old stuff, EPMD, Run DMC, you know what I'm saying, Public Enemy, when you got to go all the way back there, you know what you're doing, Lion King. Mailbag. So I'm not convinced that Micah on Green Bay is better than Dallas. With Micah on the 2023 team, what say you? On that 2023 team, when we got screwed out of, I'm not. So my thing is not. I'm not afraid of Micah. I think it makes the Packers a better team than what they were before the trade. So, I'm going to agree with you. I'm not sure how much better they are. They're better, and they had a good defensive line to complement Micah in Dallas. So, but like I said, it's the Taylor Decker thing. Taylor Decker is going to have to, get in the gym. He's going to have to get right. He's going to have to, get the bench press up. He's going to have to do everything because that's just the way it goes. What up, though, Malachi? Bob it. Just Fast is 25% hit rate. Do you think the 2022 draft class was a loss with Hendon Hooker and Project Martin? No, not at all. Because we got Jahmyr Gibbs, Jack Campbell, Brian Branch, and Sam Laporta in that draft. Sir, no. Those guys that, that didn't hit, Hendon Hooker, Kobe Soulsdahl, Broderick Martin, so what? Those guys that did hit, that was a crazy draft. Should have said because nah. Those players, bro, we could have drafted nobody else, and it would have been fine. We could have drafted absolutely no one else. Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, Jack Campbell, Brian Branch, right? We could have drafted absolutely no one else. We could have gone home after round 2. He could have just said, all right, I'm done. And we'd have been like, yeah, Brad Holmes cooked. So the fact that those other guys are no longer on the roster, nah. I mean, Kobe Sorsdahl shouldn't be on the roster, but he's on IR for some reason. Just let him go. Just let him go. Let it go. Let it go. I don't know if that's how it goes. I've never heard the song. Mailbag, can you neutralize the Micah Parsons of the world with the ground game? Yes. I'm again. It's not Micah Parsons. I'm not afraid of Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is a very good player. Micah Parsons didn't help the Dallas Cowboys beat us in 2023. That was Brad Allen. Okay? Last year when we played them, Micah Parsons was injured. So he didn't play that game. And that was the Hutch game, right? When we were beating the brakes off of him. So, again, it's not Micah Parsons. It's really the blind faith in Marcus Davenport that has me upset. That's it. Had they already signed Big Z, I'm telling you this. Had they already signed Big Z, I would have came on here and told you, okay, this doesn't really matter because we're good. So okay, that the Packers got a little bit better. That's cute. Micah Parsons, that's cute. Pause. But I ain't worried. You know? And again, I'm still not worried. But the problem is, I am worried. I'm worried about Marcus Davenport. That's it. Speaking of Broderick Martin, I listened to Project Pat today in his memory, The Life We Live. He said in his memory. I listened to him in his memory. You know what I'm saying? Did you pour one out? You know what I'm saying? This one's dedicated to my homies in that gangster lean. Shout out if you know. Use the hashtag. All right, y'all. Hey, it's Friday, and we had a bang up show, man. So again, I will be here. I don't know what y'all doing, but I will be here on Monday. I'll be on LNU. I'll be doing my show because the public holidays that y'all have over there, I don't have them over here. So, it is what it is. It's just a regular day for me. You know what I'm saying? So I will be here talking Lions. We can kick it, come hang out, smash like button, subscribe, share, let everybody know. As I said, if you guys did not hear the ESPN Chicago BS, your boy needs to get on ESPN Detroit because apparently you don't need to know what the hell you're talking about. And because I do know what I'm talking about, it pisses me off that people who don't know what the hell they're talking about are allowed to be on the radio. So let me be on the radio because I know what I'm talking about. You feel me? That's what that is. We got one more mailbag from Taylor May. He says, I would use David Montgomery, by the way, through the tackles versus the Packers in week 1. Who else can tackle on the Packers? Last game against the Packers, the running was kind of tough sledding. I think David Montgomery averaged like 3.6 yards per carry, and Jahmyr Gibbs only averaged 2.9. So they've been good against our run. I think the averages for the first game were better. Which was the first game? Was the first game the rain one? When Brian Branch got kicked out and Kirby Joseph got his pick 6 off of Jordan Love? Was that the first game? Anyway, the first game was better with the run. The second game, they kind of stiffened up against our run a bit. So it is what it is. All right. Once again, appreciate y'all for coming through, hanging out. I do have a cup, but I didn't have a drink, so y'all didn't stop by for a drinking conversation. But you stopped by for some good conversation. Make sure you smash that like button on your way out if you have not smashed it. If you did not smash it on the way in. Once again, the Motor City Cats are indeed back at it. We came to give you stats, not none of that static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. We are out. Peace.